are so good at lying to yourself. I see a pattern.
Hi, I'm Cassie Meder, and I play Enki in The Danger Element.
The character of Enki is the daughter of the man who adopted Battleljitney at a young age. So she's Battleljitney's sister, more or less. One point in history, Enki and Battleljitney were both members of a secret order called the Knights of the Benedictine Seal. But then Enki became disillusioned and left the order. And that's where we join the story.
John already had someone lined up, but she eventually backed out, and he mentioned it to me.
She jokingly suggested that she could play the part, which I didn't even think about the possibility at first because she lived in another state. But then I started thinking about it.
He didn't really say much about it, but I guess he thought about it and considered it more seriously, and then got back to me and asked me to actually do it, and I was surprised. I thought he was joking about it.
Kisnap no.
I had no acting experience before working on The Danger Element.
The reason I believe she could do it is I had seen her in her YouTube videos acting like different characters and making funny faces, and I could tell that she actually could act pretty well. It was just a matter of trying to figure out how to coax the performance out of her in more of a cinematic, setting.
The only kind of camera I had been in front of was my own little flip video camera that I got for Christmas one year, and I had done a little bit of modeling before that too.
Sometimes Cassie beats herself up because she has trouble with the lines, but I actually blame myself for this secretly. But I don't tell her because I want her to believe it's her fault.
I knew all of my lines, but when it came time to actually shoot it, I would just splurt them all out.
I just kind of write difficult dialogue, and it's a lot of times it's really technical, and a lot of times it's all made up, and it isn't real. And so people have a lot of trouble understanding what it means, and thus have trouble saying it.
In May, for the first shoot, I took a couple of friends with me, and we decided to drive overnight from Washington to mid-California, and it took about 12 hours.
I remember that Cassie hadn't slept for pretty much the entire time we were there. And I remember that night when she started not being able to say the lines, and I was desperately doing anything I could to get her to be able to do it. I was trying to get her to eat granola bars and like anything I could think of to get her brain working again.
I remember in the car on the way to pick up Kato, I think, from the airport, I just slept. And I found like any moment I could to just sleep as much as I could.
And then I just started hitting her.
As for heat in May, it wasn't that bad, but the last shoot that we had in August was like no heat I've ever experienced living in the Northwest. I think by the very end of all of the exterior shots that we had, I was ready to throw up.
I think I got heat stroke that day doing a action sequence, and then we had to go that night and film another scene at night, and I was brain dead by that point.
What I really liked about working with West Havenbrook is considering I had no acting experience, I felt like I would kind of be frustrating at times.
She eats all of our food, she makes messes on the floor.
But they were really helpful in directing me and being patient with me and helping me become more comfortable with what I was there to do.
She stomps when she walks.
And once I got past the initial kind of nervous stage and doing something I'd never done before, it was a lot of fun.
It's been really good working with Cassie because she takes it pretty seriously. She memorizes her lines, which is more than you can ask from a lot of people. And I think because of her modeling background, she is used to traipsing around in unusual wilderness locations, which has come in very handy. One time she punched through a bear. The entire crew slept inside of its carcass.
What I really like about working with John is it's really cool to see someone that is so passionate about something. I mean, he does almost everything. He writes The Danger Element, he directs it, he acts in it, he edits it, and it's really neat to see someone kind of revolve their lives around something that they feel they need people to see and something that they love to do. And it's really inspiring to me because that's something that I'd like to eventually do.
Cut.